Hi, welcome back to Geocaching World. I'm Dave Dufour, and I'm here with Andy HeadHardHat Smith. We are talking about the need for an emergency geocache repair kit, and we talked a little bit earlier about that because geocaches, they get hurt, and you're the emergency room, right?
Yeah, you're the one that's going to really determine whether that geocache basically lives or dies until the owner can come out and actually replace it if it's necessary.
Mm-hmm. And so, and you know, it seems to me that this is sort of not only it's just it's a nice thing to do, but it's sort of preserving the hobby.
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely. It keeps things protected. There's a lot of value out there. We haven't gone into too much yet of the different contents that you'll find in a geocache,
mm-hmm.
but there are some expensive items there. When you start talking about travel bugs and geocoins,
Right.
there's some cost there, not to mention all the other swag that's involved. By you bringing some simple items to repair a broken geocache keeps those fresh.
Well, yeah, and then the person that's put it there, they may have put it down there with some educational content in it, and really, put some effort into creating something that's not only going to be fun, but kind of some educational value to find, and it's nice to make sure that it's there for the next person.
Yeah, and there's also the other factor of just plain wear and tear will
Mm-hmm.
cause moisture to build up inside the geocaches.
Mm-hmm.
So simple things like logs that you write down that you were there sometimes need to be replaced.
Right. Okay. Well, let's look at the contents of this kit. We have kind of a sequence of pictures of you out in the field there, and this is this is one of the things that you would find. Now, you have this all in a kind of a little red tackle box. I think we have a picture of
Yeah,
that somewhere along
I
the way, but.
I actually went out and just went to the local hardware store, and for I think it was $2 or maybe $3, picked up a really inexpensive toolbox.
Mm-hmm, great. And then oh, there it is right there.
There it is.
Yeah. And so then it says right on it, emergency geocache repair kit. The graphics on that are just stunning.
That is one of my better looks. I don't know if that is A to lemon or a B is on my back.
Okay. All right. Oh, the expression. I was talking about the graphics on the side of the box, but we've got a lot
Oh,
going on there.
that's we only do the high price stuff here,
There
only
you
the
go.
best.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah. And so these are those kind of zip ties, aren't they?
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways that geocaches will be held into place wherever they're at. Sometimes it's magnets. Sometimes it's a nice little cubby hole you put it in.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people use the real heavy duty ties to hold, like, say, for example, a 35 millimeter container to a tree branch.
Okay. All right. And so it's good. So if that and those get broken occasionally by
Yeah,
getting
just
kicked or
like
something like
anything
that.
else, if you put out a geocache, and again, when you are in states that are have more of a drastic environment, plastics tend to warp and
Mm-hmm.
become brittle, and those even just over a time of months or a year may need to be replaced.
Right. Okay. So all right. The next thing on our list here is what is that? That's another kind of plastic tie, I think there.
Yeah, that's actually one of the ties out of the bag, and there's different types that you want to use. A good example with this would be different types of colors that
Mm-hmm.
you might want to keep with you, not just the standard black. You might want to have a couple other ones that match the environment.
Oh, okay. So you put those that like obviously like green or something that or brown or something that looks like the earth or something like that. Is that right?
Yeah, it's something that just out blend in.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Great. All right. There's another one there. It looks like we had several. Okay. This is another thing. Velcro. Now, why do you need that?
That's actually Velcro is a really good example of something that can adhere to something that is non-magnetic. If you can't use an actual magnet to attach your geocache to its host,
Mm-hmm.
the next best thing is Velcro. You would attach one side to the geocache, the other side to the object you want to attach it to,
Right.
and then that's going to allow it to stay in place. The thing that you want to remember with Velcro, though, is the more popular the geocache is, the sooner that's going to need to be replaced as well.
Yeah. The hook and loop structure breaks down, or the adhesives holding the two pieces in their respective places may break down as well. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Heat and cold will do that.
Okay, great. Okay, so Velcro's another great one. You buy it in like sheets of stuff and cut it, or sometimes it's already cut into
Yeah,
little
absolutely.
squares.
You can go to usually your favorite craft store is a good place to go for something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. A lot of the stuff is at craft stores, I think. What's our next item? There we've got. That's spare log books.
Yeah, that's a biggie. What'll happen is you can actually go to my blog or go out onto the website as well.
Where's your
There are
blog? Where's your
places where
blog,
you can
Andy?
actually print off your own logbook.
Oh, okay.
And there's different sizes for the different size geocaches because what will happen is the seal to a geocache will break down or it could get a lot of condensation. Those logbooks get soaked after a while. And it's always good to keep spares that if you do get one that's just so bad you can't even write on it anymore,
Right.
or they just get full. It's good to have spares to be able to replace that with.
Okay, and that's just what you're looking at there is simply a it's just like the little notepads that you buy like to do grocery lists on, isn't it?
Yeah, and what's really nice is we actually have the forms where you can print them off right off your printer. It's already set up with the correct wording and the correct sizes, and you just cut them to the size that you want your geocaches to be. I usually keep 4 or 5 different sizes there just in case.
Okay, and I noticed now what you're carrying there. You've got 4. Yeah, you've got 4 or 5 different, even of the same size in there. I guess on a hard day of geocaching, you might come up with more than one that needs help, right?
There are times that you might want to do a numbers run, and what a numbers run is you want to get as many geocaches within that day as you possibly can. There are times where you can get a numbers run of 100, 150 geocaches, depending on how busy you are with it.
Right.
And you may, the numbers are there that you may need to replace them. And I'll tell you what, the geocaching owners really appreciate it when you do.
Yeah. Now, do you like write them a note and say, "Hey, I fixed this"? Do you let them know you did that for them, or is that
sometimes it's really
that sort
good
of...
when you actually go onto the listing site and mark that you actually found it. It doesn't hurt to say, by the way, the logbook was wet or damaged, and we replaced it.
Okay, now when you say replace, this is another question I have about replacing it. Now, do you don't discard it? You leave it there, or you just add a new one into the cache, or how does that work?
That's a kind of a judgment call, to be honest. Some geocaches are so small. If the log is full, what I usually do in a case like that is I will take the log with me and I'll contact the geocache owner and say, "Look, I actually have this. Do you want me to mail it to you?" If it's so badly waterlogged and damaged that it's basically just goo, there's nothing to save. So it's good to just take it out and replace it.
Right. Well, and you also have to look at, okay, why is it goo, which meant probably water got to it. And you have to
that's the biggest culprit.
Look at some other things there too. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit more after our break here. A little bit more about how you can be the emergency repair agent for geocaches out in the field when we come back on more Geocaching World. Got a question or a comment about geocaching? Send it to geocache@rvnn.tv or leave us a voicemail at 877-578-RVNN, extension 714. Tell us about a cache you especially enjoyed finding, and we may feature it in an upcoming episode. Follow RV Newsnet on Facebook and Twitter, and you can receive text messages to alert you when we're streaming live by texting RVNN to 72727. That way, you can join us live in the chat room, ask questions, and become part of the RV Newsnet family. Remember, any photos or other material submitted to us become the property of RV Newsnet and cannot be returned. Today's show is brought to you by Angie's List, where you'll find thousands of unbiased reports and reviews about service companies in your area. Whether you're looking for a roofer, plumber, house cleaner, dentist, or even a doctor, Angie's List members share their experiences with each other so that you can choose the service company that's right for your job. Companies can't pay to be on Angie's List, and the reviews come from people just like you who have had experience with the companies mentioned. To find out more, go to rvnn.tv and click on the Angie's List ad.